Your random encounters actually don't have to be balanced in any way, shape, or form. Random encounters are when two parties actually come into contact with one another and you have a conflict. It doesn't have to end in combat, it doesn't have to end in battle, it doesn't have to end in death. Because when you have two creatures or a bad guy or a group that come into contact with your party, once people start getting hurt, usually they're going to start backing away. Nobody really knows if they're winning or not, other than if they dropped someone to the ground. But in a world of magic, that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to stay down. A large, dangerous creature takes a little bit of damage. They're not going to stick around. There's no point to that. There's no point for a wyvern to stick around if it's being hurt because it doesn't have magical healing. It's going to have to take time and buckle down, which will hurt it later on. Creatures don't want to be hurt. And when your spiky warrior sticks and pokes it back and all of a sudden it gets hit in the face with a fireball, even if a creature is an alpha creature of that area and it's a dominant and it's a keystone species and it kills everything, it's not probably dumb. It probably does have some level of preservation, and it's not going to stick around until its health is on the bare minimum, because then who knows what's happening. However, it may remember your party, and it may come back for your party, and it may come back from that spiky little fighter who thrust its pointy little toothpick into its flesh. Remember, a random encounter is a great fodder to show the world is dangerous. It doesn't have to end in death, and a lot of times those creatures can show up and actually just sit there and observe your party. And that party may have to actually come out of rest, out of watch, to engage with that group. It's not saying they would have to actually do combat, but then what happens when they recede into darkness? Do they just go back and rest, or do they make sure that they're safe, or do they take extra precautions? All of those things make for that encounter to be memorable. It's not like the encounter just has to be roll initiative and everyone trounces in. That's not how a random encounter has to go. Food for thought.